Have you ever wondered which parts of America truly capture the soul of the wild in this new era of 2026? Today we are exploring the top 10 most naturally beautiful states that make this country a literal masterpiece. Before we dive into these stunning landscapes, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our deep dives into the best of the US. From the jagged peaks of the west to the misty shores of the east, we have gathered a list that will make you want to pack your bags immediately. Whether you love the desert sun or the Arctic chill, there is something here for everyone on this journey. Let us get started with our countdown of the most breathtaking destinations you can find across the 50 states right now. Number 10, Maine. Maine is the place where the morning sun first touches the soil of the United States. Maine reached a record by welcoming over 16 million visitors to its rugged shores. It is often called the Pine Tree State because over 80% of its land is covered in deep and green forests. When you look at the map, you will see a coastline that stretches for over 3,000 miles if you count every little bay and cove. That is actually longer than the entire coastline of California. Maine is famous for its rugged beauty, where the cold waves of the Atlantic Ocean crash against solid granite rocks. By the start of 2026, tourism revenue in the state climbed to an impressive $9.5 billion. The crown jewel of Maine is Acadia National Park, which covers about 47,000 acres of land. It remains one of the most visited parks in the eastern part of the country. If you stand on top of Cadillac Mountain at 4 in the morning, you will be among the very first people in America to see the sunrise. The state also has over 6,000 lakes and ponds that look like mirrors reflecting the sky. Imagine driving past 65 different lighthouses that have guided sailors for hundreds of years. Officials reported that outdoor recreation supported nearly 160,000 local jobs. Maine is not just about the ocean, though. In the fall, the trees turn into a sea of red, orange, and bright yellow. It is a sight that draws photographers from every corner of the globe every single season. Whether you are hiking the final miles of the Appalachian Trail or eating fresh lobster by the pier, Maine feels peaceful. It is a state that values its quiet corners and its wild heart. You will find that the people here are as sturdy as the rocks they live on. Maine proves that you do not need tall skyscrapers to have a grand view of the world. The state is investing more into forest preservation than ever before. This ensures that the beauty we see today will stay the same for the next generation. It truly is a masterpiece of the North. Number 9, Montana. Montana is known as the Big Sky Country for a very good reason. When you stand in the middle of this state, the horizon feels like it goes on forever without any end. It is the 4th largest state in the country, but it has a very small population. By early 2026, the density remains low, with only about 7 people for every square mile of land. This means you can find true silence and a sense of freedom that is hard to find anywhere else. Montana is home to Glacier National Park, which people often call the crown of the continent. The park saw a significant rise in visitors seeking to see the remaining glaciers before they change. This park has over 1 million acres of protected wilderness and 25 active glaciers. You can drive on the Going to the Sun Road, which is a 50-mile path that cuts right through the heart of the mountains. It is considered one of the most beautiful drives in the world. Estimates suggest that 13 million visitors will explore Montana this year. The state also shares a piece of Yellowstone National Park, which was the first national park in the world. Western Montana is filled with the massive peaks of the Rocky Mountains. Eastern Montana is a land of golden prairies that look like a moving ocean of grass. The state has over 3,000 named lakes and reservoirs with crystal clear water. Flathead Lake is the largest natural freshwater lake in the West, and it is famous for its blue water. Fishing and hiking are not just hobbies here, but they are a way of life for the locals. The tourism industry brings in over $5 billion annually. Montana is a place where elk and bears still roam freely across the land. It is a land that remains mostly untouched by the modern world. If you want to feel small in the best way possible, Montana is the place to be. The state will lead the nation in wilderness protection efforts. This makes it a top destination for those who want to see nature in its purest form. Number 8, Wyoming. Wyoming is a land where the earth feels like it is alive beneath your very feet. It is the least populated state in America, which makes it a perfect sanctuary for nature lovers. By the spring of 2026, Wyoming remains a top spot for those avoiding the crowded city life. The state is home to 96% of Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone has over 10,000 geothermal features like hot springs and mud pots. Old Faithful is the most famous geyser, and it shoots boiling water over 100 feet into the air every 90 minutes. People have been watching this display for over 150 years. But Wyoming is not just about the heat from underground. The Grand Teton Mountains rise straight up from the valley floor without any foothills to block the view. These peaks reach over 13,000 feet into the sky, and they are covered in snow most of the year. The Snake River winds through the valley like a silver ribbon. Wyoming welcomes nearly 8 million tourists as travel fully recovered. It shows how much people love this wild and raw landscape. You can also find the Devil's Tower, which is a massive rock tower that rises nearly 900 feet above the trees. It was the very first national monument ever established in the United States. The state is also famous for its wide-open ranch lands where cowboys still work. It feels like a scene from a classic movie every time you look out the window. Wyoming is a place where the wind always blows and the stars shine brighter than you can imagine. The air is so clean that you can see for over 100 miles on a clear day. It is a state that reminds us of the power and the beauty of our planet. The state invested heavily in wildlife corridors to protect migrating elk and deer. Life moves slower here, and that is exactly why people love it so much. Wyoming is a rare gem that refuses to be tamed. Number 7. Michigan. Michigan is the only state in the country that is split into two separate pieces of land. It is defined by the Great Lakes, which hold about 20% of the world's fresh surface water. Michigan has more than 3,000 miles of freshwater coastline. That is more coastline than almost any other state except for Alaska. By 2026, Michigan has become a leader in freshwater conservation and ecotourism. The state is surrounded by 4 out of the 5 Great Lakes. Lake Superior is so large that it could hold all the water from the other Great Lakes combined. In the summer, the water looks as blue as the Caribbean Sea. Michigan received over 160 votes in our survey because of its hidden natural gems. The Upper Peninsula is a vast forest where you can find over 300 waterfalls. One of the most amazing spots is the Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. Here, you can see sandstone cliffs that are painted in bright colors by natural minerals like iron and copper. These cliffs rise 200 feet above the cold and clear water of Lake Superior. There is also Mackinac Island, where cars have been banned for over 100 years. The island saw a record number of visitors arriving by ferry to enjoy the quiet. People travel by horse and carriage or by bicycle to explore the island's limestone formations. The Sleeping Bear Dunes have sand hills that rise 400 feet above Lake Michigan. It was once voted the most beautiful place in America by a national morning show. Michigan earns billions of dollars from tourists who come to boat, fish, and camp. The state's park system is more popular than ever. The state is also home to over 11,000 inland lakes. No matter where you stand in Michigan, you are never more than 6 miles away from a body of water. It is a paradise for anyone who loves the feeling of being near the water. Number 6. Oregon. Oregon is a state that offers a little bit of everything in one beautiful package. It has a coastline that is 363 miles long, and it is entirely open to the public. You will find massive sea stacks like Haystack Rock sitting right in the waves. Oregon is famous for its deep green forests that stay lush because of the frequent rain. But the most famous spot in the state has to be Crater Lake National Park. Crater Lake was formed when a volcano collapsed thousands of years ago. It is the deepest lake in the United States at nearly 2,000 feet deep. The water is famous for being a deep and royal blue color because it is so pure. Oregon saw over 21 million visitors as people flocked to the Pacific Northwest. The Columbia River Gorge is another masterpiece with over 90 waterfalls in one area. Multnomah Falls is the most famous, and it drops 620 feet over 2 rock tiers. It looks like something out of a fairy tale with its stone bridge and misty air. Western Oregon is filled with snow-capped mountains like Mount Hood. Mount Hood is over 11,000 feet tall, and it is an active volcano. In the early months of 2026, winter tourism on the mountain reached an all-time high. In the eastern part of the state, you can find high deserts and the Painted Hills. These hills look like they have stripes of red, gold, and black painted across them. The tourism industry supports over 110,000 jobs in Oregon. It is a state that values its environment and works hard to keep it clean. Whether you are walking through the ferns in a rainforest or standing on a desert cliff, it is stunning. Oregon is a place that invites you to slow down and notice the small details of nature. The state has expanded its electric vehicle charging network in rural parks. This makes exploring the wild even easier and more sustainable for everyone. Number 5. Utah. Utah is a place where the rocks tell a story that is millions of years old. It is famous for its red rock landscapes that look like they belong on the planet Mars. The state is home to 5 different national parks, which people call the Mighty Five. These parks are Zion, Bryce Canyon, Arches, Capitol Reef, and Canyonlands. Zion National Park is the most popular, and it features massive red cliffs that are thousands of feet tall. By the start of 2026, the park has refined its shuttle system to handle over 5 million visitors. You can hike through the Narrows, where the river flows between walls that are only 20 feet apart. In Arches National Park, there are over 2,000 natural stone arches. Delicate Arch is the most famous one, and it has become a symbol for the entire state. Utah saw 18 million people travel to see these desert wonders. Bryce Canyon is not actually a canyon, but a giant bowl filled with thousands of stone spires called hoodoos. They look like a forest of red and orange stone towers frozen in time. The state also has the Great Salt Lake, which is the largest saltwater lake in the Western Hemisphere. But the real beauty is found in the south, where the earth is carved into deep canyons and high mesas. Monument Valley is another iconic spot, with its massive stone buttes rising from the flat desert floor. You have probably seen this landscape in countless movies over the last century. Utah is also a great place for stargazing because the sky is so dark and clear at night. The tourism industry is a major part of the economy, and it brings in over $10 billion. Utah is focusing on preserving its dark sky parks for future generations. It is a land of silence and sun, where the colors change every hour of the day. Utah proves that the desert is just as beautiful as the deepest forest. Number 4. Colorado. Colorado is the heart of the Rocky Mountains and a paradise for mountain lovers. It has the highest average elevation of any state in the entire country. There are 58 mountain peaks that are over 14,000 feet tall. Locals call these peaks the 14ers, and many people try to climb them all. By 2026, Colorado has become the premier destination for high-altitude outdoor adventure. Rocky Mountain National Park is one of the most visited parks in the country, with over 4.5 million guests. You can drive on Trail Ridge Road, which reaches an elevation of over 12,000 feet. From up there, you can see for miles across the jagged peaks of the Rockies. Colorado saw over 92 million visitors who spent over $27 billion. This tourism helps save every household in the state over $800 in taxes. But Colorado is not just about the high peaks. It also has the Great Sand Dunes, which are the tallest sand dunes in North America. These dunes sit right at the base of snow-covered mountains, creating a strange and beautiful view. The Garden of the Gods is another amazing spot with massive red rocks standing straight up in the air. The state is also filled with alpine lakes that are a bright turquoise color. Mesa Verde National Park shows off the beauty of ancient cliff dwellings carved into the rock. The ski resorts saw a record amount of snowfall and visitors. In the summer, the valleys are filled with colorful wildflowers and rushing rivers. The air in Colorado always feels crisp and clean, no matter the season. It is a state that encourages you to be active and explore the outdoors. The state is investing in more hiking trail maintenance than ever before. Colorado is a place where the mountains always seem to be calling your name. Number 3. Alaska. Alaska is so large and wild that it feels like its own separate country. It is more than twice the size of Texas, but it has fewer people than the city of San Francisco. By 2026, Alaska remains the ultimate frontier, where nature is still in total control. Alaska has over 100,000 glaciers, and they cover 5% of the state. The state is home to Denali, which is the tallest mountain in all of North America. It reaches over 20,000 feet into the sky, and it is often hidden by the clouds. Around the mountain is 6 million acres of protected wilderness in Denali National Park. The cruise industry in Alaska hit a massive record with 1.7 million passengers. Projections show that this number will continue to grow as people seek remote beauty. You can see massive chunks of ice falling off glaciers and crashing into the ocean with a sound like thunder. The state has over 3 million lakes and thousands of miles of coastline. It is a place where you can see grizzly bears catching salmon in the rivers. Humpback whales and orcas swim in the deep bays along the coast. In the winter, the sky lights up with the dancing green and purple lights of the aurora borealis. The Kenai Peninsula is another beautiful area with its fjords and deep blue water. Alaska is a place that challenges you and rewards you with views you cannot find anywhere else. It is a land of extremes where the sun does not set in the summer and does not rise in the winter. New eco-friendly cruise ships are entering the market to protect the waters. The silence of the Alaskan wilderness is something that stays with you forever. It is a reminder of how the world looked before humans arrived. Number 2, Hawaii. Hawaii is a chain of islands that was born from the fire of volcanoes in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It is the only tropical state in the country, and it is a literal paradise. The islands offer everything from black sand beaches to lush green rainforests. Hawaii welcomed over 9.5 million visitors as travel hit a new peak. The Nepali coast on the island of Kauai is one of the most beautiful coastlines on Earth. It features emerald green cliffs that rise 4,000 feet straight out of the ocean. You can only see this area by hiking, taking a boat, or flying in a helicopter. The Big Island is home to the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. By 2026, the park has opened new viewing areas to see the ever-changing landscape safely. You can see one of the most active volcanoes in the world creating new land every single day. Maui has the Road to Hana, which is a famous drive with over 600 curves and 59 bridges. It takes you past countless waterfalls and exotic flowers hidden in the jungle. Haleakala National Park is a massive dormant volcano where you can watch the sunrise from above the clouds. The island of Oahu has the famous Diamond Head crater and stunning turquoise bays. Waimea Canyon is known as the Grand Canyon of the Pacific, and it is filled with red soil and green trees. Hawaii introduced new sustainable tourism fees to protect its reefs and forests. This ensures that the islands stay beautiful for all who visit. Hawaii is a place where the air smells like flowers and the ocean is always warm. Every island has its own personality, but they all share a breathtaking beauty. Number 1, California. California takes the top spot on our list because it simply has everything. It is a massive state that stretches for nearly 900 miles along the Pacific Ocean. California has more national parks than any other state in the country, with 9 in total. Yosemite National Park is a masterpiece of granite cliffs and giant waterfalls. By 2026, the state is celebrating new conservation milestones across its diverse landscape. Half Dome and El Capitan are world-famous landmarks that draw climbers from every nation. California saw over 270 million domestic visitors. The tourism industry is a massive engine that brings in over $140 billion. The state is home to the tallest trees in the world in the Redwood National Park. These trees can live for over 2,000 years and reach heights of over 300 feet. California also has the largest trees by volume in Sequoia National Park. Standing next to a tree as wide as a house makes you realize how ancient this land is. The state also has the lowest point in North America in Death Valley. This desert landscape is filled with colorful mountains and white salt flats. Lake Tahoe is a massive alpine lake with water so clear you can see 60 feet down. The Big Sur coastline offers a dramatic drive where the mountains meet the sea. You can find golden hills, misty forests, and sun-drenched beaches all in one day. The state is increasing its investment in public land access and protection. The state's diversity is its greatest strength when it comes to natural beauty. California truly deserves its title as the most naturally beautiful state in America. Exploring these 10 states reminds us of the incredible diversity of our planet in 2026. From the deep blue of Crater Lake to the red arches of Utah, we are truly lucky to have these treasures. Each of these states tells a different story through its mountains, forests, and oceans. We hope this countdown has inspired you to go out and see some of these places for yourself this year. If you enjoyed this look at the most beautiful states, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Hitting that subscribe button helps us continue to bring you the best travel and nature content. Let us know in the comments which state you think is the most beautiful of them all. Maybe your favorite spot is one that did not make the top 10 list today. We love hearing about your personal travel stories and your dream destinations. Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of our community. Keep exploring, keep wondering, and we will see you in the next video. Safe travels, everyone, and enjoy the beauty that is all around you right now. It is a wonderful world out there waiting for you to discover it.